A story about Annebelle, the haunted doll. Now, this story starts with a couple, Edward and Lorraine Warren, who investigated numerous hauntings, possessions, and other paranormal activity. The married couple founded the New England Society for Psychic Research in the early 1950s and together have written numerous books about their investigations. Edward passed away in 2006, but Lorraine continues to operate this occult museum to this day. Now, in the 1970s, the Warrens were contacted by a priest named Father Hegan, who told them of two nurses experiencing some malevolent paranormal activity in their home. According to these nurses, the paranormal activity seemed to center around a big, Raggedy Ann doll, around the size of a small child. Donna had received this doll as a gift from her mother, but shortly afterwards, the doll started to move around the apartment by itself. When the girls would leave and return home, they would find the doll in a different position in a completely different part of the house. They would leave the doll on the bed with its arms and legs crossed, only to return home to find it kneeling or sitting in a chair by the front door. Then the doll began to leave notes written in what looked like small child's handwriting with pencil on parchment paper. The notes said things like, "Help us," and "Help wow." There was no parchment paper in the apartment, nor was there any pencil around to be found. At Christmas, the girls found a little chocolate boot on the stereo that seemed to have appeared out of thin air. Another time, a statue seemed to fly up into the air and fall on the floor. When the girls arrived home one night, they found blood on the doll's chest and on the back of her hand and on her dress. They were frightened enough at this point to contact a medium. Now, this medium told them that a little 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins had inhabited the doll, and she liked Donna and Angie so much that all she wanted was to stay with them. Aww. Now, the girls were stupid enough to fall for that, and so began to call the doll affectionately Annabelle. Lou, who is one of the girls' boyfriends, was really upset about the doll. He really didn't like it and felt that, in his own words, it had gotten into his head. He started to have these horrible nightmares about the doll creeping into his room and strangling him to death. One evening, while Lou and Angie were looking over maps for a trip they were about to take, they heard noises coming from Donna's empty room. Nobody was there, but Annabelle was tossed on the floor into a corner. When Lou walked towards it, something clawed at his chest, leaving numerous cut marks. The Warrens believed this was a strong indication of an inhuman presence. The Warrens believed that everything the medium had said was rubbish, and it was actually told by the father of lies, who I'm presumed to be Satan. They didn't think that there was anyone ever called Annabelle, and in fact, a ghost, apparently according to them, wouldn't have the power to possess a doll like this, and instead it was actually some kind of demon who wanted to possess one of the girls. And basically, they performed an exorcism, and paranormal activity continued to happen. So the Warrens took the doll off their hands, and now it's in the Warren Occult Museum, previously aforementioned, in Monroe, in Connecticut. As you can see from these pictures, she's actually in a wooden cabinet and holds a little crucifix.